What's up, everyone? Eddie Mercado here with BloodyElbow.com, and I'm about to speak with Scott Hot Sauce Holtzman as he is set to head to Sacramento for UFC on Fox 22 to take on the undefeated Josh Emmett. So let's give Scott a call and find out what he's been up to as of late and his thoughts on heading into his fourth UFC bout, thoughts on competing in Sacramento, California, and maybe what he has in store for Josh Emmett. Mr. Scott Hot Sauce Holtzman, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, Eddie. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for taking out the time. You're headed to Sacramento to take on Josh Emmett in his backyard at UFC on Fox 22, December 17th. How are things?
Things are good, man. Just finished today with a rugged sparring session. I got one more to go. Just getting a little bit of weight down now. Just going through the last little bit of prep and get ready to go to Sacramento and spoil somebody's party.
I dig it. Well, from what I understand, you went to the University of Tennessee and got a bachelor's degree in sociology. Is that correct?
Yeah, I did. I got a bachelor's degree in sociology, major with a concentration in criminal justice, and then I did a minor in business administration. So uh,
Okay.
had some fun, and I'm definitely putting my degree to good use.
Yeah, I mean it begs the question. I mean, what made you kind of put your degree to the side in pursuit of the life of a prize fighter?
Yeah, in college, I thought I wanted to do the FBI or some sort of law enforcement. And the more I got into it, the more I kind of realized it wasn't for me. So, but as opposed to doing what most college kids do and changing my major and things like that, I finished it up and, um, started working a normal job at 9 to 5, sitting in a cubicle and talking on the phone and on the internet, and it drove me crazy. So, needed another outlet, started doing some jiu-jitsu, and here I am, really.
Okay. Now I gotta ask, why hot sauce?
Uh, in the beginning, when you first come to the gym, everybody, or you first start fighting, everybody wants to give you a nickname, like Killer and Axe Murder and all kinds of silly shit, So that's not really me. I'm just a normal dude. I like to compete, but I do eat a lot of hot sauce. And I had a friend at the time that worked with me, and every break, every lunch break, whatever breakfast, I'd be putting hot sauce on all my stuff. And he came to the gym to train and kind of started calling me that unofficially, and it stuck. So I was willing to let that one ride. I'm like, all right, hot sauce, I can do it. It's fun, man. I prefer that to some serious nickname. I was gonna go without a nickname. It's not a big deal to me, but it's been good for me.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of pit bulls and murderers and animals and beasts.
Yeah.
So it's definitely refreshing to have something unique. That's for sure. Now, your UFC debut, a bit of a home game for you. You took on Anthony Christodoulou, who's known for his jiu-jitsu. And, I mean, going in, you were a huge betting favorite. I think it was around minus 1,000 in your UFC debut. But, I mean, you showed up. You put some hands on him, displayed your striking, and then ultimately took him down and choked out the jiu-jitsu guy. I mean, how did it feel kind of, having so much pressure on you, so to speak, and just rising to the occasion?
It felt good, man. It's a dream to be able to fight near your hometown. Nashville's about 2.5 hours from my hometown, but yeah, that was a home game for me. So, but yeah, there were a lot of fans there to see me, a lot of my friends and family. So, there was some pressure there, but you do so much training, you go through emotions so many times, you get out there and you just let it rip. So you're not thinking about it. I don't see the crowd out there or anything like that. So I didn't have a whole lot of pressure on me. I didn't feel like so. Just went out there and let it rip, man. Just tried to put him away. The guy, I hit him as hard as I could. He wouldn't go down. So I just needed to find another way to get him out of there.
In your next bout, you took on Drew Dober. Another exciting bout, back and forth, a lot of momentum shifts. What was it was your first loss in your pro MMA career, and fighters always say they learn more from their losses than they do their wins. So, what was the biggest lesson that you learned from that fight?
I took the fight on short notice. So learned a few things from short notice. One, it's really worth it if you win. Two, if you don't win, it sets you back quite a bit. But yeah, I learned it, motivated me for sure. But I wasn't. I don't know. I wasn't under any illusion that I was untouchable before that. I trained at the MMA lab with some of the best guys in the world. I never thought I was invincible or anything like that. So it motivated me. I got right back to work and, came out next camp and tried to work on some holes and things like that. So just trying to get better from camp to camp. I got better last camp, and this camp I'm even better too. So, I'm in good shape. I'm ready to go.
Okay, and your immediate fight after that was against Cody Pfister. Decisive victory over him, and you definitely let your strikes go early, but you also really mixed it up. You added in the takedowns and worked your top game. Now, I mean, was that your game plan going in, or did you kind of want to stand with Cody but decide during the fight like you want to make adjustments and kind of take it to the ground?
Yeah, I think the game plan was really to keep it on the feet. He was kind of long and awkward, and sometimes awkwardness can throw you off a little bit on the feet. And I don't know, for whatever reason, he surprised me. I expected him to really shoot and be relentless early on, but he stayed on the feet, so it kind of surprised me a little bit. But then we started wrestling a little bit. I started counter wrestling and just putting myself in opportunities to win. Wherever the fight goes. I'm not really a specialist anywhere, but I do everything okay. So you have to be really good somewhere to beat me.
Okay, now there was this moment, I think it might have been in the second round, but you achieved full mount, and he managed to roll you. And your corner suggested that you avoid that position altogether. And then later on in the third round, you took their advice and you remained in half guard, and you found a lot of success there, and you really started to open up with your ground and pound. Is after the fight, is that something you looked at as to working on your mount game and mount control a little bit?
Yeah, we went back to work on that right after the fight. John Crouch, the coach at the lab here, a lot of times if there's a mistake in the fight, the following week, whoever it is, me, Ben, Brian Barberina, anybody, they make a mistake in the fight, the following week we go right to it. We work on our mount retention, mount control. That was me really being anxious. Sometimes if the fight stalls out, no problem with it. I get antsy. I feel like I need to be beating him up and just be more busy instead of just controlling mount and holding him there on his back. I got antsy and was trying to punch him and all kinds of stuff. So it's just learning as you go and learning how to stay composed in there and the control position before submission and all that. So
on the card also, you mentioned Brian Barberena. He's taking on Colby Covington. Should I even bother asking your prediction for that fight?
Yeah, you can ask for sure. But Brian's so tough, man. We've been training together for a while at the lab, and we both kind of got there at the same time. And a lot of people kind of judge Brian in the beginning, they seemed like he could do well, but on his body type. But telling you, that dude is so tough, man. He's never out of the fight. I promise you that. And Kobe may want to stand with him for a second or two until he gets hit, and he's going to wrestle. And Brian's hard to hold down, man. It's a tall order to hold him down. So
yeah, I'm excited for that one also. Now you're facing a guy in Josh Emmett who he came in and he fought this guy John Tuck, who was pretty decent in his own right, and I mean Emmett really rose to the occasion. He displayed his power, explosiveness, and mainly his toughness. He nearly got his finger wheel kicked off in one of the rounds and like kept fighting through it. I'm sure you've seen that. What are your thoughts on the guy?
oh, he's good, man. He's good. He's a good fighter. Comes from a good team. Obviously tough. I think he's used to fighting these guys that don't have a lot of movement. They kind of walk forward. They play into his game a little bit. I'm going to present some different problems than he's seen before. So, we'll see how he reacts to that, and we'll see how the fight goes. But, yeah, it's going to be a good fight, man. It's going to be explosive. It's going to be fast. It's going to be all the above. It's definitely, the fans are going to get their money's worth out of this one.
Okay, now your debut, it was somewhat of a home game, and now you have the opportunity to be on the opposite end of that spectrum. What are your thoughts on going into someone's backyard?
Yeah, no, I thought about that too. I got a home game, so I guess it's time to pay it forward. We'll give one to somebody else. But, I don't, when the bell rings, man, when that door closes, I'm coming after it. I don't care who's in the crowd. I don't hear the crowd. Pressure's on him. Pressure's not on me. He's the one, that probably has to sell T-shirts, deal with tickets, deal with everything else. I'm just coming in to punch him in the mouth. There's no pressure on me. I'm in shape. I'm mad. I'm pissed off, and I can fight too. So the pressure's on him.
Okay, are you training anything specific for his style?
Training certain things, but it's just about being ready for everything. He mixes in a little bit of everything. He's going to want to take it down some too. So just get ready for certain things he likes to do. I'm sure he'll throw some new stuff at me. I'll throw some new stuff at him, and we'll make adjustments on the fly. But I'm just ready for playing, and he's going to have to be ready for that too.
Okay, now how does Hot Sauce see the ending playing out? You going to get the finish? Is it going the distance?
Oh, man, I'm always looking to put it away. You can guarantee I'm throwing some heat. So wherever the fight goes, I'm looking to finish. So we'll see.
Okay, now do you have any sponsors or people you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, Hard Knocks Pizza, Ola, Rod Burrell, On It Supplements, Uppercut Deluxe, Pomade, MMA Lab, Shield Systems, and you, man. Thanks for interviewing me.
Oh, thank you, sir. I definitely appreciate it. Now, how can people follow you on your journey? What are your social media outlets? Your Twitter handles, Facebook, Instagram?
Yeah, Hot Sauce Holtzy is my Instagram and Twitter, and then Scott Holtzman on Facebook.
Awesome. Well, Scott Holtzman, thank you so much for taking out the time. I really appreciate it. You're headed to UFC on Fox 22 on December 17th, Sacramento, California, taking on Josh Emmett. Best of luck to you, sir.
Thanks a lot, Eddie. I appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. You have a good one.
All right, you too.
So there you have it. The 9-1 Scott Hot Sauce Holtzman headed to UFC on Fox 22 in Sacramento, California on December 17th. He'll be taking on Josh Emmett from Team Alpha Male. Tune in. Until then, you can read me on bloodyelbow.com. You can follow me on Twitter at @TheEddieMercado. If you like this interview, subscribe to my channel right here. And you can find more interviews here and here. Now go be a good person.